Welcome back, everybody. So again, we're going to do section 8.4 review today. So just to kind of give you guys a heads up of what we're doing today, and everybody follow along at home. I'm going to do the warm-up, go over the warm-up, go over the homework. I want to talk through each problem in the homework and ask for any answers that you guys may need to go over. We're just going to kind of spot check on problem to problem and just make sure you know what you're doing. Then beyond that, we're going to go over the homework, and then I'm going to let you guys work on tomorrow night's homework. Because again, like I said, the weekend homework. Like I said at the beginning of sections 8.3 and 8.4, practice, 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 practice. That's the only way you're going to understand this stuff, is if you keep trying it and keep trying it and keep trying it and keep trying it. Are you going to get it right every time? Probably not. That is okay. You just keep trying it and trying it and trying it. Eventually, you'll kind of learn where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and then you can hopefully improve from there. So let's get to it. For those everybody playing along at home, we did the first example in class together. So I would pause it right now, go through the rest of these three problems, and then we'll go over the rest of them. All right, so number 7. Let me pull some names here. Second period. Nope, that's right. Okay. Rosalie, what am I going to find factors of? Yeah. 10. Good. I'm going to find the factors of 10 that will add to get me 11. What do they end up being? You're right. 1 times 10. So here's how we rewrite it. First term stays exactly the same. Last term stays exactly the same. The two pieces in the middle get rewritten from our factors. All right, and now I factor by grouping. Now, could I have written the 10 first and then the 1? Of course, your answer would be the same. Your grouping might look a little different, but that's okay. Just because it's different doesn't mean it's wrong. So, Liam, what's my GCF of my first two terms that I have here?
5x and 2.
You put the 10 first. So what I have right here, what's my GCF of these two terms?
1.
1x. Good. Just an x, or 1x. So when I divide that out, I have a 5x plus 1 left over. Liam, what's my GCF of my second two terms that I have here? 2. Good. So positive 2, when I divide that out, it's a 5x plus 1. And look at that. Inside my parentheses is a 5x plus 1. Outside my parentheses is an x plus 2. Questions about that? Ben, for number 13, what number am I trying to find factors of?
Negative 20.
Good. Negative 20. Now, this one's kind of weird because it's a negative 20, right? All right, so let's do this one in green. I've got a negative 20. Now, Ben, what set of factors work?
I put negative 2 and positive 10.
Very good. Negative 2, positive 10. I know I want to get to a negative 20, but it's negative 2 and a positive 10. That doesn't mean both factors are negative. That just means one of the two factors is negative. Negative 2, positive 10. Don't say negative 10, positive 2, because that would have got me a negative 8, not a positive 8. Negative 2, positive 10. So I rewrite 4a squared minus 2a plus 10a minus 5, and then I factor by grouping. All right, so my question now is for John. John, what's my GCF of my first two terms? 2a. Nope, that was right. 2a. So we're leaving with a, not just an a. We're leaving with a 2a minus 1. And then, John, what's my GCF of my second two terms?
Negative 5.
Leave off the negative.
5.
Just a positive 5. Now, how do I know whether I factor out a positive or negative? It's because of this sign right in there. If it doesn't lead with a negative, don't pull out the negative. The only time you would ever pull out a negative is when it leads with a negative. So that's a positive 5 there. We factor that out, leaving a 2a minus 1. Again, inside the parentheses match, so it's a 2a minus 1. And then the leftovers are a 2a plus 5. And that's my answer. I see a lot of people stopping short. I see a lot of people trying to put this line as their answer. No, that is not the answer. The answer is your 2 sets of parentheses. Okay, let's talk about 19. What do we do with this weird negative that's sitting out front? Well, remember, we divide out the negative first thing. Here's what I mean. We take out this negative right off the bat, and we divide out by a negative 1. What's that do to everybody on the inside? It changes everybody's sign. So the negative 2x squared becomes a positive 2x squared. The positive 5x becomes a negative 5x. The positive 12 becomes a negative 12. Now, somebody tell me, what do we do with that negative 1? What do we do with that negative 1?
Put it in front of your answer.
Right. We go all the way down here and we just go to where we think our answer is going to be and we put it in front of our answer. You arrow it all the way down. You don't even worry about it anymore. The only thing that I'm concerned with now is the piece inside the parenthesis. So negative 24. And I want to find the factors of negative 24. Then I have to get the negative 5. Mason, what factors of negative 24 will add together to get negative 5? Okay, let's do the list then. So it would be negative 1 times 24. Does that work? No. It would be negative 2 times 12. Does that work? It would be negative 3 times 8. Now, negative 3 times 8, that's negative 3 plus 8, that's positive 5. So it's close. So what do I have to do? Good. If you get the correct number but the wrong sign, just flip the one with the negative, right? I said negative 3 times positive 8 was positive 5. So that must mean I want negative 8 times positive 3. All right. So that gets me a 2x squared minus 8x plus 3x minus 12. Always put the negative factor first when you have an option to. If there's one positive, one negative, put the negative factor first. All right. Underline first 2, underline last 2. My GCF in my first 2 terms is a 2x, leaving me with an x minus 4. My GCF in my last 2 is a 3, leaving me with an x minus 4. So it's negative 1, x minus 4, 2x plus 3. And there's my answer. Questions about that? Now, I am not going to go over every single problem from the coloring sheet. I want you guys to be able to figure it out on your own, because guess what? If you get the wrong answer, you know if you got the wrong answer, because are the wrong answers going to show up in the question bank down below? So that's what I like about these worksheets, is because you know whether you got the right answer or not. Did you guys catch what I said on the video yesterday? What are you going to get if you do this? If you do this all the way out with the coloring? You said 3. He's bumping it up. 2 bonus points on your quiz. If you finish this out and turn it into me, completely done, correct, coloring sheet included, all nice and pretty with all the correct colors, then I'm going to give you 2 bonus points on your quiz next week. When is the quiz? Well, on Monday of next week, we're going to review, and then the quiz is going to be on Tuesday of next week. Okay, we're not learning anything new. We're just practicing from here on out. I will say this. I'll go over a couple of problems. Are there any ones that you'd like me to go over from the worksheet? Rosalie? Sure. This one? The 6x squared and the 15. Okay, so if you'd like to follow along and check this answer for yourselves, by all means, let's go for it. I've got 6 and negative 15. That gets me, well, I don't know, 6 times 15 off the top of my head. 90. Negative 90. Okay. I'm not very familiar with the factors of negative 90. However, I see that it's got to be negative 1. And I know one's got to be positive, one's got to be negative. So I bet the numbers are really close together. Say 9 times 10. Which one's negative, the 9 or the 10?
10.
The 10. The bigger one's negative because this ends up being negative as well. So negative 10 times positive 9. Those are my two solutions, my two factors, excuse me. Now I rewrite 6x squared minus 10x plus 9x minus 15. And now we factor by grouping. Underline first two and last two. I factor out the 2x, leaving me with a 3x minus 5. I factor out a 3, leaving me with a 3x minus 5. So my solutions are 2x plus 3, 3x minus 5. So I go down and I look for my 2x plus 3. That's either a color or a number. And then I go and look for the 3x minus 5. That's either the color or the number. And then I match them up and I say, okay, that one's number and color, and you know how to color it from there. Okay, I'll do one more. If you want me to. Hey,
You go over like L.
L, sure. Let's take a look at L. 6 times 5 is 30. Oh, factors of 30 that add to get to 31. 1 times 30. All right. So we have 6x squared plus 1x plus 30x plus 5. You know what I always do? I always screw this up, and I always write, whenever it's a 1 times, I always write 31 here. I always do that. And it's like, no, that doesn't work. Don't do that. All right, so I underlined first two and last two. See, there's no GCF of my first two, other than just an x, right? That throws a lot of people off. A lot of people try to, pull out something that's not a GCF. It's just an x there when they don't have any numbers in common. So we've got 6x plus 1. And if I get this far, and I'm not sure what to do with the second set of parentheses, what do you know it has to match? 6x plus 1, right? So you got to say, okay, whatever my GCF is that it's going to be, it's got to divide out and end up being 6x plus 1. In this case, the GCF is 5, so I get a 6x plus 1. So my solutions are the 6x plus 1, and then the x plus 5. And then I look for color and number with those. All right, so here are your options of what to do next. You can work on the coloring sheet if you'd like to, but this is also due on Monday, okay? Page 552, 26 to 52 even. I'll pull that up here. So long, everybody playing along at home. See ya.